There we go. I think I'm live. What's up, guys? How's it going, everybody? Out there in YouTube land? Let's see. Do you have audio? Can you hear me? Do we have video? Can you see me? Confirm with me if the audio and video are working. Hello to everybody. Discernible Entropy. Nice name. Woohoo. Jim Young, how's it going? Jim Young says it sounds good. Let me just make sure I'm using the right microphone. No, not that. Okay, here we go. Where's it at? Settings, control room. All right. Well, if the audio is good, the video is good. Let's just do it. The video looks like it's not focused, but that's probably just the camera. Clint Hubbard Jr., what's up? Robin Varghese, what's up? Keith Williams from Houston, how's it going, man? All right, got a lot of people in here already. Why don't you guys all say hi, introduce yourself. So play nice in the comment section if you got questions, if you got comments, put them up there. Don't fight with each other, and all will be good. So what's going on, guys? What am I drinking? All right, this is just water. It's actually, let's see if you can see inside of it. See the bubbles? This water's amazing. This stuff is, oh, now the camera's suddenly focused. It's called Guitig is the brand. But it's an Ecuadorian company, and this is like a mineral water, like this spring water that comes from the base of this volcano. There's loads of volcanoes all around Ecuador. Where we live, though, relatively safe as far as like volcanic activity, seismic activity. There's not a lot of earthquakes here, not a lot of Tanya says it looks like vodka because the Russians drink vodka out of copper. Yeah, this is probably like a Russian style cup, right? A little copper cup. But yeah, it's just an amazing mineral water. I like it 100 times more than what's that stuff? Pellegrino, the other expensive ones. And it's reasonably priced here in Ecuador. Only thing is it's hard to get it in a glass bottle. You can get it in these little like half-liter glass bottles, or they sell it in 3-liter plastic bottles, which is not ideal. But the water, it's such good water. It's really amazing. All right. What are we going to talk about today, guys? Andrew Scarborough. What's up, buddy? What's up, Andrew? Andrew, if you want to come on and talk and join the conversation and give us an update on what's going on, you're welcome to. No pressure, but send me a private message on Facebook and I'll give you a link. And you can jump in and talk with me. You can give a surprise guest if you want. If you guys don't know Andrew, Andrew has come on the show several times. He has been using a ketogenic diet and other lifestyle interventions like a high DHA diet and, just trying to optimize his circadian rhythm and optimize his exposure to light in order to manage and battle a very serious brain tumor that he got diagnosed with several years ago, and he had it removed. So you can check out some of my talks with Andrew. He's a really good guy, and he's always experimenting and offering up the knowledge that he's gained through experience, as well as just sharing, the mistakes that he's made. He's a really fun guy to talk to because he's always experimenting on himself and through trial and error, finding what works for him to manage the very serious brain tumor that he was diagnosed with years ago. So glad you're doing well, Andrew. All right, Jeff Clapp, what's your opinion on multi-day fasts? Good question. All right, multi-day fasts. 2 days from now, I'm scheduled to talk to Dr. Jason Fung, and we'll be doing a live broadcast just like we're doing here. You guys can put comments and questions up there. I'm not sure how many questions we're going to get to with Dr. Fung, because I'm going to have quite a few questions for him. So I do need to prepare for that still. But I'm going to be talking to him about fasting. He's done a lot of research on fasting. He's one of the major proponents of extended fasting, water fasting. So my thoughts on it as of now. Hold on, I got a sneeze coming. Whew. All right. The vegans say I'm sneezing due to lack of veganism. It's funny, like anytime I sneeze or something in the video, like literally vegans will comment and say, like, why are you sneezing? Is it your diet? But yeah, there's lots of pollen coming out. This place is coming to life right now. hopefully see the rainy season's going to stop soon, and that's when everything blooms and all the flowers throw out loads of pollen, so it gets kind of intense. But let's talk about fasting, extended fasting. Fasting. All right. I just got a message from Andrew. He might jump in here in a few minutes. And oh wow, look at that. Cool, Andrew. Let me get you a link, and let me finish this question, and I'll send you a link. So, fasting, extended fasting. What's it all about? And do I think that you should do it? There's this thing on the internet, right? So whenever something becomes popular, there will be a slew of gurus recommending it. Now, fasting, extended fasting, is not something that I think is going to be beneficial to most people. Physically, of course, there are lots of benefits, but I think it's something that you have to do very intelligently. It's not something I guide my clients through or recommend my clients do just because I feel like it's something that has to be taken very seriously. And it's something that you have to do cautiously. Extended fasting is biologically safe. You can do it for long periods of time. They've done experiments where somebody fasted for something like 300 days. This guy was morbidly obese and fasted for a long time. You can look up some of the experiments that have been done on fasting, but fasting can be very beneficial for rebooting the immune system, for increasing stem cell production. There's a lot of benefits to fasting, getting into deep autophagy and killing off the weak cells that your body doesn't need. Fasting allows you to do this. The reason I'm cautious with recommending it is because, like any trend, people just go nuts with it. I mean, people are recommending fasting for aesthetic reasons. And I don't think fasting should be, I think it should be taken very seriously. Anytime you're depriving your flesh of food, you go into a very profound and deeply connected state. You get into a very intense state. Monks and religious people and organizations have used fasting for thousands of years. Every major religion, every major spiritual tradition or faith, whatever you want to call it, every spiritual tradition implements fasting for spiritual growth, for healing, as a way of prayer and connecting to the Creator. And honestly, I'm kind of somebody who I would say that that's what it should be used for: spiritual purposes, deep spiritual exploration. That should be the number one goal when you're fasting. That's just me, though. That's just me. I mean, I've seen people be successful for fat loss or whatever with fasting, but I don't think it always sets up the right mental, psychological habits to utilize long term. Right? It's not something you can do super long term. I mean, yeah, you could do a 10-day fast and feel really good afterwards, but then after that, the next time you try and fast an extended period of time, it's like people chase a high almost, right? They use it like a drug, and then they become immune to it almost, and their body just breaks down. They get addicted to fasting. I've seen people that are like hooked, like addicted to fasting. I'm not trying to scare people away from fasting. If you're going to fast, take it seriously. Understand that it is a deeply profound and powerful practice, and I think you should be doing it. If you're doing it at all, you better be doing it with a serious spiritual goal in mind. That's all I got to say about that. So let's move on. Andrew Foster says, I actually find I sneeze less since starting keto. Yeah, same with me, man. I mean, allergies, asthma that I grew up with as a kid kind of grew out a bit in my early 20s. Like the asthma started decreasing. But when I do get intense allergic reactions, when I do get intense allergies, and my nose just runs and runs and runs into the lungs, it was always horrible. And it would happen to me yearly with exposure to different things, environmental toxins, pollens, and stuff like that. It would happen seasonally. And with keto, it does seem to be much better. So M. Ree says, any future chats with Dr. Jack Kruse planned? No comment on that guy. Yeah. No comment. So tempted to comment, but I won't. But I won't be talking to Jack Kruse anytime soon. He was fun to talk to a few times, but I'm done talking to that guy. No further comment. Tanya says, I do a 10-day fast every change of season. So you do a 10-day fast 4 times a year. Okay. Cool. Carrie S., how's it going? Carrie, you're always commenting. Thanks for dropping in again. Always looking forward to your vids. Love the maca. We get stressed when we run low, so we bought 2 at a time. Keep up the great work. Cool, Carrie. Yeah, the maca is pretty amazing, right? It's there's really not any other maca that's going to compare to what you're going to get from us. So I'm glad you guys are still enjoying it. It's cool that that you're so stoked on it. All right, let's see what else. Answer a few more questions, and then Andrew Scarborough, I'm going to send you a link. I want you to jump in a few minutes. We can talk and see what's going on with you. What do you know about keto rash? Yeah, it's something that happens to some people. Though when they start ketosis, they'll sometimes get a rash, and it usually goes away within a couple weeks. I honestly, through my research, I haven't been able to find a definitive answer on what it even is. It could have something to do with bacterial colonies or fungal overgrowth. Some people blame it on candida. I mean, you start looking into what people say about candida on the internet, you'll believe everything comes from candida. But some people believe it is candida. It could be that. It could be some kind of a fungal or bacterial imbalance that's happening, and the bacteria is going nuts trying to find something to eat when you deprive it of glucose. That could be what's going on. It's something that, for the most part, usually subsides within a couple of weeks, and it's very uncommon, but common enough that I've heard about it several times, and I've worked with clients who are dealing with it. But yeah, keto rash, don't know much beyond that. I don't think there's any definitive scientific answer for what's causing it or why it would happen, but in a very few people, it does happen. All right. Electrolytes. Let's see. Wow, so many. All right. Fleet's Enema says, I'm hooked on imported cheese from Italy. What's the daily allowance for cheese? Keep it at 4 ounces a day. Hey, it's all about context, right? So look, if you're not having any allergic reaction to cheese, you're not allergic to dairy, cheese is completely fine. As far as what's the daily maximum, I mean, there's no dogmatic answer that I can give you to that. Within context, so I'll give you some context, right? If you're trying to go for fat loss, then you're definitely going to want to moderate your cheese intake because it's so delicious and it's easy to eat a whole block of it at once. Then you've got how much energy that you're taking in, right? I mean, it's a very nutrient-dense food. There's a lot of fat in it. A lot of fat, good amount of protein, pretty low in carbs. So if you're trying to keep your carbs under 30 grams, just make sure the cheese isn't pushing you overboard. If you're trying to keep your fats at a certain level, make sure the cheese isn't pushing you overboard if the goal is fat loss. If the goal is, muscle gain, more dairy and more cheese, I've seen it be beneficial for people. Now, when you're trying to gain muscle, you actually are trying to create an acute inflammatory response. So blunting that by eating a super anti-inflammatory diet, sometimes for some people can limit the gains. So lots of dairy and cheese when you're trying to gain weight can bloat you up, but can also, seem to create that acute inflammatory response that you want for hypertrophy and for building muscle. So it's all context dependent, right? Me personally, I don't eat that much cheese. I love the taste of it. It's just, I don't know. I prefer, my diet it wavers all the time. I change up the food sources all the time. Like I'll go for something. I'll eat the same meal 2 times a day sometimes, and I'll enjoy it so much, and then I'll switch it up. So right now, cheese is not really in my my daily food cycle. But yeah, man, if it fits into your daily intake, if it fits your macros, bro, if it fits your macros, dude, it's all good. No, but like really, I mean, cheese, if it does fit into your macros on a ketogenic diet, you should be fine. But go for high quality cheese. And you're talking about high quality cheese. You're importing this like awesome cheese from Italy, you say. Go for non-pasteurized cheese. Go for cheese that's from grass-fed animals. Do it sustainably. Eat the best, highest quality stuff that you can find, and you will feel the difference. All right, let me get a link for Andrew Scarborough here. Let's get you in here, Andrew. If you still want to join, you are more than welcome to. Send it to you through Facebook Messenger. And we'll talk about what you've been experiencing lately. Surprise special guest jumping into the live hangout here possibly soon. Let me go back here and check out the questions. The essential homemakers. Electrolytes would be great. I know add good salt and magnesium glycinate, but what about supplementing potassium? Does this help with fatigue? All right, potassium supplementation is a touchy subject. In the United States of America, you're only allowed legally to sell 99 milligram doses of potassium. So if you're trying to get a potassium supplement, you're going to find it 99 milligrams. Now, your daily intake, you're going to need at least 2,000 to 4,000 milligrams of potassium. You can get quite a bit of potassium from avocados and spinach. Those are great sources. Also, salmon has a significant amount of potassium as well. So I forget how much. I think it's like 700 to 1,000 milligrams per avocado. Look up the values. I could be pulling that out of my behind. But yeah, I mean, potassium, I don't think supplementing with it is a great idea. But there is something called salt substitute or no salt, which is potassium chloride. Now, this is used, light salt is, I think, 50% potassium chloride, 50% sodium chloride. Morton makes it. So it's a refined salt that contains partial sodium chloride, which is normal salt, table salt, refined table salt, which I don't really usually recommend. But you can get this stuff called no salt, which doesn't have any salt in it, any potassium or sodium chloride, rather, and it's pure potassium chloride. A lot of people use that, use a quarter teaspoon of that a few times a day, salt their food with that. Some people like the taste of it, some people don't. But that's a way that you can make sure you're getting your potassium in if you think you're having potassium level issues. But when I work with clients, honestly, like 90% of them don't have to do anything for potassium except eat specific foods in their diet. And I make recommendations to them what foods to get. Usually avocado and spinach can get you all the potassium you need. All right. Let's see. Any information or tips about keto with type 1 diabetes? All right. Now, type 1 diabetics. First of all, I'm not a doctor. Don't listen to anything I say, blah, blah, blah. Only people that are doctors should be trusted with any information. This is not medical advice. I'm just this guy talking to you on YouTube. So, consult your doctor. Type 1 diabetes, there are many type 1 diabetics utilizing effectively a ketogenic diet to manage their insulin levels. It is possible. I think Dr. Ron Rosedale? Look up some of his information. There's several books about ketogenic diet for type 1 diabetes. It can be done successfully. Of course, you have to watch your blood ketone levels and your blood glucose levels intensely, and you got to do it right. But it can be very, very beneficial for type 1 diabetics. You just got to make sure that everything's in line. So do some more research on it. Look into Dr. Ron Rosedale, and you will be pleased to find that there are many people using a ketogenic diet to manage type 1 diabetes. All right, Tanya says, I'm glad I found you live. Please help me. I've been keto for 14 months, and I'm still dealing with no appetite. I upped my carbs. I don't really understand the question. So you're saying you don't have appetite? Still dealing with no, K-N-O-W. I don't know what your question is there. I'm sorry. The wording, you got to ask it again, Tanya. If you got no appetite and you're trying to do ketogenic diet for fat loss, that's really good. That's one of the magic things about keto for fat loss is when you have no appetite, it makes it easy not to eat. Whoa, what do you know? So yeah, low appetite can be fantastic on a ketogenic diet. So I'm not sure what the problem is there. All right. Antonio Crane. I've been keto for 2 months with great success. If I exceed my carb limit, but not in a drastic way, will this derail my progress? Say if I had 60 grams of carbs today versus less than 20 grams. Great question. Now, this is about context, and I'll try to give you context and some different angles to look at this. For most people, a ketogenic diet is going to be around 30 grams net carbs and under. Some people handle like 50 grams. Hey, some people can handle like 60 grams. If you're 6'4" and you're doing 2 workouts a day, you're active, you're working outside, you're working construction, stuff like that, you're moving yourself more than somebody like me. My work right now is not physical. I'm talking to people all day, helping people formulate diets. My work is sedentary. So I'm not like a high-level athlete or something. Even though I look fit, I'm not going to sit here and like pretend I'm an athlete. I don't need that many carbs. I can get by with like 10, 20 grams of carbs, feel great. Some people, they're highly active, might want more carbs and would be able to handle more carbs and stay in ketosis. If you have more lean muscle mass, if you're larger, you could probably handle more carbohydrates than somebody who's smaller and less muscular. So in your situation, going over by a few grams of carbs, pretty much like regardless of where you're at, like one day eating 20 grams more carbs than you're supposed to, As long as you're not making this a habit and you're doing this all the time and you're like, hey, this Krispy Kreme donut's only 15 grams of carbs, fit that in my diet. I mean, good luck playing around, playing games like that. You eat keto approved foods, eat ketogenic foods. And if you go over on the carbs for a day, it's not going to completely derail your progress and ruin everything because you ate a few grams of extra carbohydrate. That's not how it works. Energy balance still comes into play. Energy balance still matters. Hormonally, you'll be throwing off ketosis through increasing insulin, depending on the types of carbs you're having. But look, if you go over a few grams, don't worry about it. Just get back on track. I wouldn't suggest doing it consistently or using it as an excuse of like, oh, it didn't really derail my progress if I did it once, so I'll start doing it every day. Then 2 months later, you're not getting where you want to go. That's probably why. But yeah, there's some context for you. Hope that helps, Antonio. I'm glad you're doing well, man. 2 months in, great success. Keep the success. There's no reason to play little games and, hey, they have a little Krispy Kreme donut here. I've been such a good boy. Why don't I have a cheat day? I mean, it's ridiculous. I just put out a video on this today. You reward yourself by engaging in a behavior that's going to destroy your progress if you continue to stay in an addictive cycle and engage in that behavior all over again. The whole cheat day thing, I think, is absurd. It's a great way to market diet plans. You tell people, hey, you do this cyclical diet and you do 7 days low carb, and then you do 1 day whatever you want. People go crazy with these things. People don't do like a normal. If you look at like Mauro Di Pasquale's The Anabolic Diet, he's not recommending going and eating a bunch of donuts on your so-called cheat day or carb day or whatever you want to call it. He's not recommending that. I mean, most people who do these cyclical ketogenic diets and fail at it, they're not counting how many grams of carbs they're having on that carb day, on that cheat day. They just go nuts. Just everything goes, and you start planning for it all week. You start like stocking up for your stash. It's like a cokehead or something. Like, I got all this for the weekend. Like, got an 8-ball for the weekend. It's crazy. It's like, if you're trying to get out of that cycle of rewarding yourself with food, just straight up stop rewarding yourself with food. Food's not here for mouthfeel and pleasure constantly. Yeah, it's pleasurable to eat. Yeah, it's great to eat. But the foods that are super palatable like that, like these super high, like sugary, sweet foods, these are available seasonally in nature. You're not going to like walk up and pick a Krispy Kreme donut or a bowl of, I don't know, like you're not going to pick a bowl of ice cream off a tree. These are these have to be highly refined. These are super, super nutrient dense, calorie dense foods. Got a lot of sugar and a lot of fats. People usually go nuts with them on these refeeds. So 95% of people will not benefit from increasing carbohydrates 1 day a week or like 1 meal a week. It's not doing anything for you. It's not. It's just reinforcing the cycle of, oh, food is how I reward myself. You're just masturbating yourself with food. What's the point? There's no point in that. Sounds a little bit harsh. Like, really, come on. If you're trying to make progress, establish a new habit. Reward yourself with feeling clear-headed. Reward yourself, pat yourself on the back for ditching those old addictive cycles, for not being a slave to your flesh, for not being a slave to your stomach. Is your God your belly? Does it rule you? Take charge. Take charge of the mind. It's these little games get played in the mind, right? Oh, you've been so good. You need a cheat day. You just need a carb day. You're a little bit stressed like now. You stubbed your toe right now. You need a cheat day. Just quit the games. Quit listening to it. The more you listen to it, the more it keeps looping. You get hypnotized into it. You get hypnotized and lulled back to sleep into the same habits that got you out of shape in the first place, got you unhealthy, got you fat in the first place. That's what happens to us if we submit to that. So don't submit to it. Tell it to shut up. Move forward. Tanya says fasting is healing. When I fast for 4 to 7 days, you get really in touch with your body and mind. That's absolutely true. Completely true. Very, very true. And when I said that I only recommend fasting for spiritual purposes, for the most part, that's why. Because you get super tuned in, you get super in touch, you get super open and super vulnerable. You get open to influence. Actually, if you look at like a lot of the MK Ultra experiments, you know what they were doing? They would put people in sensory deprivation chambers and they would starve them for weeks and abuse them and break them. Starvation, fasting opens you up to influence. It makes you very sensitive, very, very sensitive. That's why they were using it for mind control purposes in these experiments, because it opens people up to suggestion. So yeah, I mean, you can get in profound states of consciousness through fasting. And I'm not trying to scare anybody away from it. Just know what you're dealing with. Don't play around and try and do it because you want to look hot and go, you know, you're going for the 6-pack, fasting 7 days because I want a 6-pack. You're just going to be reinforcing this like weird schism in there. Why you're fasting for a 6-pack? Come on. I don't know if that makes any sense to you guys. All right. Tanya says, why after 14 months do I still not have an appetite? Are you trying to lose body fat, Tanya? Keto torches appetite. Just like when you're fasting, Tanya, there's the same person who was commenting saying she fasts every seasonal change. So just like when you're fasting, your hunger just drop down. After 2 or 3 days, you feel great. You feel so clear. Every sound becomes profoundly, I mean, your mind is just mapping magnetically your surroundings. Just it's humming, you know, it's like a well-tuned machine, and you're feeling what's around you, you're feeling what's inside of you, you're not hungry at all, you're super sensitive. Ketosis is mimicking fasting in that way. Ketones torch hunger. So if you're doing a ketogenic diet and your hunger's low, that's normal. Don't let that, I mean, if you're trying to lose body fat, it's great, right? But if you're trying to gain or maintain, it can be difficult. You got to make sure to get in enough food in that case. I guess maybe for you, that's why you're concerned, is because you're not trying to lose weight. You're trying to do it for health purposes. In that case, yeah, you know, some things pop up on the screen, you kind of lose your train of thought. It's ridiculous. Computer. Technological ADD, right, guys? Thomas Mataras, love your video. Started keto a month ago with intermittent fasting, and not only am I leaner, I feel like my brain just comes up with great ideas. MSc nutrition student. All right, cool. So you're studying nutrition, you get your master's degree. We need people like you who are not following the standard dogma, the crap that we get told. We need people like you doing it. So that's awesome. Thanks for you hear Ryder down there. He's playing. Thank you for the comment, and keep it up, man. Continue. Keep moving forward. Tanya says, Maka, how can I get it? Please. Just go to primaledgehealth.com if you want to try our Maka, Tanya. It's available in 1 kilo bags, and it's probably only going to be around for a couple more months. I don't even know how many we have left. Yeah, you can find that at primaledgehealth.com. There might be a link in the description as well for this video. Clint says they have the best maca. Thanks, Clint. Michael King says, what made you move to Ecuador? Seems like a great life. Easier to get healthier and cleaner food, I am sure. What made me move to Ecuador? That's a toughie. I mean, you could ask me at any moment. I'll give you a different answer, right? But it was just the right thing to do at the time. I was 23 when I moved here. Jessica was like 22. I'd finished college, finished University of California, Santa Cruz, and I was looking at furthering my education, getting into debt. This was 2009, 2010. Graduated in 2009 or 2008. I don't remember. Like 2009, I think. Finished, got my degree. Then I was going to have to go back and do some biology courses and stuff like that because I was looking into becoming a chiropractor. But I was conflicted about it, right? You know, I mean, just getting into debt, locking myself into that specific path, it just didn't feel right at the time. We saved up money. I'd always known that I wanted to live kind of I've always just kind of lived a crazy, adventurous life, right? It was just part of the adventure. Like, this was part of my calling. This is part of who I am. And Jessica and I moved here in 2010. We would have never had kids if we were still living in California. Now we have 2 children, an amazing family, we run our own business. And but when we came here, we didn't know what we were going to do. We didn't come here with a whole bunch of money. We came here with a few $1,000 and a desire for something different, desire for a different life, and a lot of faith at the time. So it ended up working out. It worked out really well, and we love it here. It's not for everybody. Don't come here. Especially don't come to the town I live in. It's our, I mean, uh, protectionism. All right. Ecuador is a beautiful place, incredible place. Is the food like 100% organic and pure? No, no way. Latin American countries have been given loads of pesticides that are banned in the EU and the United States. And they're told that these things are totally safe. They just spray them like they're spraying candy on their crops. So I mean, they say people try and market shit and make up stuff, and they believe things. And it's a weird place, Latin America, right? Like the expat communities are full of interesting, great, and super shady people. When you think about it, the kind of people that are willing to up and completely change their life and live somewhere rugged and wild like the middle of the Andes, it takes a certain type of person, right? Either takes somebody who's really gutsy, who's very adventurous and loves life, or somebody who's like scared, running away. It's a lot of this. I don't know. It's a different place. It's a very different realm, the Andes. Got some amazing friends who are expats from all over the world. Great people. And I've also met loads of just noxious, nauseating, obnoxious, straight up gringos. And I don't know. It ain't perfect. It's beautiful though, and it's perfect for us right now. We like it here. But it's not for everybody. Lucy. Nom de guerre, Lucy. I'm having trouble sleeping. What about resetting your sleep patterns? How do I reset my sleep patterns is my question. All right, so if you got insomnia long term, first of all, you're probably taking melatonin because you went to the health food store and they told you to take melatonin. Stop taking melatonin. That's an exogenous hormone. You're putting a hormone in your body and tell your body, don't make this hormone. You're taking exogenously. Just like if people take testosterone, their balls stop working, they stop making testosterone. Don't take melatonin. Only use it acutely if you're trying to change your sleep cycle. Use it for like 2 or 3 days and then stop. So like if you're trying to change time zones or something like that, if you're flying from Europe to the United States, from South Africa to South America, whatever, you're changing time zones in a major way, then using melatonin to initiate that sleep cycle can be useful. There's no magic button to push to get your sleep cycle right. You got to expose yourself to light at the right time. So first thing in the morning, go outside. Get sunlight on your bare skin and on your eyes. First thing in the morning when the sun's coming up, watch the sun rise if you can. Wake up with the sunrise. You find yourself awake at 5 a.m., the sun's about to rise, get up. Even though you know you'll be tired later on, get up, start the rhythm with that time. Expose yourself to the natural light. Get yourself in the sun, in the AM sun. Get that vitamin D going. Get as much natural light during the day as you can. And at the end of the day, when the sun is setting, watch that sunset. Watch the colors change. Watch the beautiful, incredible, living, multi-dimensional painting that happens when the light reflects around in this amazing place that we live. Watch the sunset, and then don't turn on a bunch of artificial lights at night. Put these dang things away. Put your phones away. Don't look at these devices at night. Light some candles or start a fire. Sit by the fire and read. Then go to sleep. No artificial light. I mean, that's the simplest way. No artificial light at night. Expose yourself to natural light during the day. Now, some other things that can be a little bit helpful to people. One thing is called L-theanine. L-theanine. Theanine. L-theanine is an amino acid that you can find in things like certain teas, and is very calming and soothing to the central nervous system. It's a non-narcotic. It's not going to like dope you up. You know, daddy took his L-theanine today, watch out. Nothing like that. It's mellow. So you can use this stuff, L-theanine, Something is brightly reflecting in here. Okay, it's a wheelbarrow outside. It's full of rainwater, and it's just blasting light in the corner of my eye, like almost blinding me. The equatorial sun is incredible. That's another thing I like about Ecuador. It's just the sunlight, sunshine year round. I love laying in the sun. I love getting sun on my skin. It makes me feel good. It lights my brain up. That's why I live here, partially. But yeah, expose yourself to natural light in the day. Don't expose yourself to natural light at night. Perhaps use tools like L-theanine or holy basil, which is a Ayurvedic herb. Those can be helpful for inducing a state of low stress that you need to fall asleep. Also, eat before the sun goes down. Don't eat after the sun's down. Super simple. That'll help you reset. All right. Keith Williams, how do you know when you're done with water weight loss and are losing fat? There's no affordable way to know. I mean, you get like a stupid DEXA scan, x-ray yourself all the time, radiate yourself in these hospitals over and over again because you want to know how shredded you are. Tell people what body fat percentage you're at. Don't recommend that either. But DEXA is really the only way you're going to tell. There's these like stupid bod pod things, like these scales you can stand on. They'll do bioimpedance and they'll make up numbers and throw it out, but it's not accurate at all. Here's what I'll say about this. What does it matter if it's water weight or fat? And why were you holding water weight in the first place? That water weight is probably inflammation. That water weight is not wanted. It's excess weight. If you're trying to lose body fat, you want that water weight gone. So, hey, you lost 5 pounds in the first week. Okay, sure. Like, it's just water weight. Doesn't matter. It's just water weight. But that's 5 pounds less that you're carrying on your frame. That's 5 pounds less that your hips have to move every time you take a step. That's 5 pounds less that you have to hoist out of your bed every day. Carry around a 5-pound weight in your hand all day. See how difficult that is. 5 pounds is 5 pounds. You're losing water weight, you're losing body fat, they're both good. Who cares which one's which or how much water weight you're losing, how much body fat you're losing? You're in it for the long haul. So everybody wants to quantify real quick. I had this client the other day. I met with them and really sweet people. It was brother and sister. They started the plan that I sent them, and he immediately sends me an email the first day. My weight's still the same. Do we need to change anything? This is the society we live in now. Everybody wants a quick fix. Everyone wants a pill. I got anxiety, doc. Give me a Xanny. I got pain, doc. Give me an Oxy. I gotta lose weight, doc. Give me gastric bypass surgery. Mutilate me. I mean, like this is it takes time. That's what I'm getting at. We all want to quantify results instantly, but if you've got over 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 pounds to lose, you're in it for the long haul. This has got to be a lifestyle change. It was a lifestyle that got you into it. It's a lifestyle change that'll get you out of it. So reformat your life. Reformat your mind. All those old programs running in the background that don't need to be running anymore, remove them. This kind of goes in with the video I made earlier too, I put out today. Is there any nutritional difference between beef liver and duck or chicken liver? Oh, definitely, Andrew. Most definitely. I mean, I don't know exactly what it is, but just taste it. It tastes totally different. And I've yet to have duck liver. Something I need to eat. And people don't really. There's a lot of ducks here. We can get duck eggs, which I'm probably going to eat soon. Got like 20 duck eggs that we got yesterday at the market. You get duck eggs, but they don't really slaughter the ducks for food. So duck liver is something I haven't eaten. But yeah, chicken liver, beef liver, completely different taste and texture. Probably got a completely different nutrient profile. I much prefer beef liver, grass-fed beef liver. Most chickens fed corn and soy and wheat, just the standard stuff, soaked in glyphosate, which is carcinogenic, and the EPA, aka Monsanto, and the USDA, aka Monsanto, are finally being forced to admit it after decades of poisoning our soil, poisoning our children, destroying the genetic heritage of our food, destroying the genetic heritage of our species. They're being forced to admit that it's carcinogenic. Oops, sorry guys. What are we gonna do now? That's why it's banned in Europe and most other places. People, they don't want GMO crops in most places that aren't being propagandized into it. Repetition is the most powerful form of mind control. It's totally safe. You need pesticides to feed the world. You need organic. You need what's it called? Genetically modified food. We got to put fish genes in your corn. Come on. We've got to splice fish genetics into your corn. We need to mix human and pig DNA and make human pig chimeras for progress. Technology. Ridiculous. All right. Potassium, pumpkin seeds are good too. There you go. Pumpkin seeds are great for potassium. That's another one. Badass Grizzly. This guy red pilled me. All right. Could you help me deal with no appetite? Hey, you want appetite? Find some more palatable foods that you enjoy that you can eat on a regular basis. If you got no appetite on keto and it's a problem because you need to eat more, find some foods you like. You know, check out my wife's cookbook. You want to learn to actually prepare nutrient-dense good foods where you can get in the nutrition you need in a palatable, delicious, and not super complicated using all these crazy ingredients way. Check out the Ketogenic Edge cookbook. We call it a training manual for low carb, ketogenic, and paleo cuisine. Check it out. That will help you. That will help you establish your feet in the kitchen and understand how to prepare nutrient-dense, delicious foods. Include foods like organ meats. There's an entire section on organ meats in the book. There's a section called How to Build Your Keto Kitchen. So just having a few simple tools around, like a good blender, a few simple tools can make it a lot easier to prepare nutrient-dense food and have them around, have those staples that you can always go to and eat. Yoga Upload says, aside from Jessica's cookbook, what other books on ketogenic lifestyle do you recommend? Oh, man. Now I'm going to sound like a jerk, right? But honestly, there's nothing really out there that comes to mind right now. Amy Berger's book, though. I talked to Amy recently. Sweet individual, very nice person. Amy's book, she's highly intelligent. She's on point. Check out her book on Alzheimer's, the ketogenic diet for the treatment of Alzheimer's. Amy Berger, Berger. That's an interesting book. What other books out there? I don't know. There's a lot of stuff out there. There's a jungle out there. Yoga Upload. All right, non-keto / health question. How do you and your wife manage to live in isolation and still give each other space for each other's personalities? You seem to be a really happy combination of souls. Jessica's laughing at me downstairs. She's like, give each other space for each other's personalities? What do you think, Jessica? Do I give you space for your personality? I try. I really try. Look, I mean, it comes down to love, right? Like, if you truly love somebody, then if you're messing up, if you're not giving them the space they need, if you're not giving them the nourishment they need, then you're going to feel it. And your conscience is going to nag at you. Now, living in isolation, we don't live in isolation. We do live in a place that's relatively isolated. It's a valley in the middle of the Andes, and the closest city is 40 minutes away. And we live in this little small town, but we've got other people. We've got community. We've got friends. We've got people who are here that are like family to us. So yeah, we've got friends. We've got extended family. We're not isolated, but as far as like maintaining a balance and a homeostasis in a relationship, that's a fantastic question that can only be answered in the moment at any given time, right? I mean, I know there's times when like I'll be making decisions and pushing forward in a certain way, and Jessica's just along for the ride. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes she's pushing in a specific way. I'm there supporting her. But, I mean, the balance has to be found somehow. So, I mean, it really comes down to respecting and loving each other. And as long as that's the intention, then your conscience will tell you what needs to be done. Jessica, any tips, like from a woman's perspective, how to deal with like a bullheaded, strong personality man living in your home? Come here. Come talk. All right, Jessica's coming up. We can talk a little more about this. I don't even know what you're really asking. It's just like, it's interesting to say, you giving your personalities time to grow. She said, you seem so happy. See, when I look at my wife, I just like, I get filled with love. Like, I love her. You know, she's my best friend. Here's my little boy Ryder. What's up, dude? What's up, dude?
I
How
mean,
do you deal with it?
that's a tricky thing, right? And it really depends on every individual person. But for us, we found a lot of peace and joy, respecting each other's. It's like a division of labor. You know, Tristan takes care of certain things, and he's in charge of certain things, and I have other responsibilities. And we don't try
There's certain boundaries.
Yeah, we don't try to.
But there's really not like, there's like boundaries. Yeah.
No. But maybe that's the key too.
Like, you got to have certain things where it's like, all right, these are the things that you take care of. These are the things I take care of. You know, I mean, Jessica's a woman. She's a mother. Like, she's a womanly woman. This is like, she loves being a mom. She loves keeping our home filled with just with that energy. And I'm usually the one, like, if I'm on a mission, it's like, boom, I got to do this. Rah, 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 like, I'm just tearing through it. And then sometimes I'll get exhausted. And it's like, I need a week off. And then I'll just crash. And she's always pushing in certain ways too. I mean, she worked her butt off on that cookbook. And there was a lot of times where it was like, I was, you know, taking over certain tasks that she would have been doing. And I'm not that great at it, but I tried, you know, I did my best and, you know, supported what she was doing. She finished this cookbook and it's amazing. You know, I mean, and it's out there and we get emails every day of people thanking us, telling us how awesome it is. So it's really about balance, respect, and love.
And growing too. I mean, every day is new and we really are growing. We've been together for 8 years now.
I've been growing fatter in the last few months.
And we definitely are very different people.
We're super different. We're totally different.
Right?
She didn't, like, when we first got together, she didn't see any, like, it was crazy. Like, it definitely was a time when we first got together where
we had to work through a lot.
Yeah. Well, it was a lot.
Stubbornness, right? On my part. Or on both parts.
Yeah, it was just, I had a different reality and I like kind of forced her into it in certain ways. It was like, boom, this is what I see. Now you see it. And she wasn't ready to look at things the way I saw them a lot of the times, but she came along. She jumped in, she got in the vehicle, and now here we are. We went on this ride together. I captured her and brought her with me. And I told her from the beginning, that's what it was. Like, this is going to be, like, let's do this. This is going to be a wild ride.
It's been something that's always been.
And like, if you're going to be with me, it's not going to be the same. It's not going to be like it was before.
But Tristan's always been really honest with me and always calling me out when I try to be like politically correct in our own relationship. You know, try to like skirt around certain issues.
Correct. That's a weird term.
But like,
we see through each other's, like, we see through facades and we don't let them build when they start to build. When you see something happening, you're like, what is that? Like, what's this energy? Like, let's hopefully nicely work through this right now and gently work through it. But yeah, I think it's just, we were meant to be together. I don't know. Like, you can't ask us these questions. All right, little lady.
You say cha-cha?
What do you think, Ryder?
Cha-cha.
Ryder's 6 months now. He's trying to walk everywhere. Just turned 6 months.
Cha-cha.
Ariana's almost 5 years old.
Oh.
Pretty crazy.
We're going to go take the compost out.
Bye, buddy. All right. Bye, Ari.
Bye.
Alrighty. Tristan, I've been doing keto for 3 months. I'm noticing now that I'm getting very lightheaded while standing. All right, that's not normal. That is not normal. No matter what diet you're on, you shouldn't be getting lightheaded just standing. Shout out to Jessica for joining. Shout out to Jessica for like just being with me and being awesome, right? It's not an easy task to be married to me. But it must be pretty fun sometimes. It's fun to be me sometimes. All right. I'm a crazy person. I'm a crazy man. 3 months keto and you got lightheaded. All right, so you could probably be dealing with some kind of an electrolyte imbalance. Get enough sodium. Eat a teaspoon of salt with each meal. Take 400 milligrams of magnesium 2 times daily. Eat avocados and potassium-rich foods like pumpkin seeds and spinach. And see if that helps. It sounds like it's classic electrolyte imbalance stuff. Nom de guerre, Lucy. What about waking up every night at the same time, 2:33 a.m. with a racing heart? You're low on electrolytes. 2 questions in a row, electrolyte issues. Take the advice I just gave. Watch the video that I put up recently about electrolytes in the ketogenic diet. I forget what the video is called. Okay, I can't remember. But yeah, it's the electrolytes. You're waking up 2:33 a.m. You're short on potassium and magnesium. So maybe use some of the no salt that we talked about earlier, the potassium chloride. Maybe use a 1/4 teaspoon of that a couple times a day. Take some magnesium, make sure you get enough sodium in, and you will be good. I just started keto and I'm struggling. I hit a plateau after the first 3 weeks. This channel is helpful. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Amanda, thank you for the kind words. I don't know what you're doing wrong either. If you're looking for coaching, you can hit me up on the coaching section of the website. Then we can take a look at your situation if you'd like. So yeah. Zulin, what's your recommendation? Grams per pound of body weight on protein. There's a lot of conflicting information out there. All right. It's context dependent too, man. Some people feel better on less protein. Some people enjoy more. If you're very active, if you're lifting weights a lot, if you have a non-sedentary lifestyle, you probably need a little more protein than somebody who's sedentary. Sedentary individual can go as low as like 1 gram per kilogram. Active individual might want 2 grams per kilogram. As far as building muscle, when you look at the research, when you look at all the studies, you're not going to need more than 0.8 grams per pound of your lean body mass. That's the body mass minus the fat mass. So 0.8 grams per pound is a good place to start. And honestly, you probably don't need that much. You could do with less. But if you end up eating 1 gram per pound of body weight, yeah, it's like what, 2.2 grams per kilogram? For some people, that could still be in the ketogenic range. And look, if the goal is fat loss and you're feeling good, chasing blood ketones is not the way to go. High blood ketones does not equal more fat loss. In fact, if you look at the studies, ketosis, high blood ketones themselves, limit lipolysis. They stop it. Because if you've got high blood ketones, you're not going to break down more fat because you've already got elevated blood ketones. So these people trying to market these really obnoxious marketing tactics that they're using for fat loss. They're marketing these exogenous ketones, and they say, you eat these ketones and you're going to lose like several pounds a day. It doesn't just work like that. If you take exogenous ketones, you're putting a source of energy in your body. You're putting a bunch of ketones in your blood. Yeah, it's going to torch your hunger. And long term, it could help you to eat less. But still, you're putting ketones, which are a byproduct of the breakdown of fatty acids, you're putting that energy source in your body. So it's almost like taking pure glucose or something. You know, you're putting that in. You're fueling the fire. So you're not burning your own body fat when you're taking these exogenous ketones. All right. Nom de guerre Lucy says, been on keto since January. This is the person that was talking about the sleep issues, asking about the sleep issues again. It's electrolytes. You've been on it a couple months, or 1 month, almost 2 months. No sugar, artificial sweeteners. Fantastic. Good for you. Congratulations. You're losing body fat. You're doing well. But you got to get your electrolytes on. You've got to get those electrolytes in, and you'll be fine. Discernible entropy. I work night shifts. Is maca good for reducing cortisol, have you found? Look, nothing's going to fix a broken circadian rhythm. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and tell you, buy this product. It's going to fix your high cortisol. Now, what maca can do is balance the hypothalamus, pituitary, and adrenal axis. It can balance out and help you to deal with the stress. But if you're still putting yourself in the environment that's creating the stress and then just boosting your ability to deal with it, you're still kind of burning the candle at both ends, aren't you? So I'm sorry if you feel like you have to work night shifts. I'm sorry if you feel trapped in that situation. But no herb, no supplement, no drug is going to fix a broken circadian rhythm, staying up at night, sleeping all day. It's just throwing you off. So on the days off, do your best to get out in the sunshine and, work towards getting off that night shift if you can. Discernible entropy, I wish you the best. Maca could help you to deal with the stress and the high stress, but you got to get out of that high stress situation. Patching up a few leaks without changing the faucet. I don't know if I can extend that metaphor because I don't really like it, but get rid of the stress, AKA stop working night shifts. Will creatine have any impact on this diet? No, creatine won't impact you. You can take creatine. Some people are non-responders to creatine, but some people feel like they get great results from creatine. Sometimes it makes some people hold a little more water weight, but it's fine. Sean says, I'm 6'7". Woo, 6'7". Moderately active and on a medical ketogenic diet for cancer. What's a good minimum protein level? I'm concerned with going about excess glucose. There you go. So there's a context where chasing blood ketones is relevant. You're on a medical ketogenic diet for cancer. Best of luck to you. Wishing you the best. 6'7", tall guy. Look, when you look at medical ketogenic diets, you're looking at about, I can't give you exact protein, but I don't know. People ask these questions no matter what I say, if somebody takes it as gospel, even here's what I'll say. All the greatest experts out there are just like you and I. They're just exploring. They're learning as they go. We are all in this together. We are all human. We are all fallible. None of us know everything. I can get up here and I can know certain things and give certain advice or whatever, non-medical advice because I'm not a doctor, all that. But you got to look into this yourself. What I would say is when you look at ketogenic diets for medical purposes, they usually are going as low as protein as they can because of mTOR. And keeping IGF levels low is important when dealing with cancer within this, treatment modality, right? Within that framework of belief. So you are going to be wanting to be on the low end of the protein intake. Probably 1 gram per kilogram would be the max you'd want to do. If I were in your situation, that's probably what I'd be going for. But look more into it. I would say more than 1 gram a kilogram is not going to be too beneficial. But look, don't take anything that anybody says as dogma. Experiment and see how it goes. Yeah. Teresa, I'm 59 years old. I've lost 114 pounds. What? 114 pounds. Teresa, congratulations. 59, you lost 114 pounds. That's so amazing. I weigh 150, 5'4", been keto 2 years. My body fat 35%. Should my fat be lower to lose body fat? She eats 72 to 102 grams of fat, 20 gram net. I don't know. I can't dole out macros to you right now. If you want me to look into the situation, you can contact me for coaching. But your fat, all right. So here's your question: should your fat be lower than 72 grams to lose body fat? Not if you want to be fertile. Don't starve yourself. Look, you lost 114 pounds. Take it easy. I'm the same way. When I want something, I'm tenacious. I'm like a pit bull. That's why I love pit bulls. That's why I have them. Just for instance, I've been working on restoring this whole Blazer. I had this truck for 5 years, and it's been completely neglected. Then I decided I want to fix it. I love it. It's a great car. I love it. It's a car, right? I like it. It's a nice vehicle. It's hard to find good vehicles in South America. The only good vehicles be things like Blazers, Land Cruisers, old Broncos, the old cars. You get the new cars, no one knows how to work on them. Even in the States, the new cars suck. Don't buy a new car. It's a waste. So anyways, I'm trying to fix up this old Blazer. Got a good friend. He knows everything about engines. This guy used to build race cars. He grew up with this. He was building race cars in the 50s and 60s. He had a GT 500. He still has it. This guy's helping me plan things. But half the work he's doing with me, he's just a buddy. We talk about things, right? He's always telling me, slow down. You're getting ahead of yourself. In not so nice words when he says it. But he says, just slow down. You can't do it all at once. You got to pick one thing. You make one change. Then you drive the car for a while. Then you make another change. If you go and you want to do 50 things at once, do things too fast, you end up with a vehicle that's just all over the place. You start at the basics and you build up. You get the steering and the suspension right. Make sure the chassis is straight. Then you start playing with the engine. So take it one step at a time. You lost 115 pounds. Congratulations. Enjoy it. You've lost an entire human worth of body fat. That's so cool. So enjoy it. Own that new body. Enjoy what's there. You weigh 150, you're 5'4". Before you weighed what? You weighed 264. Slow down. Enjoy the ride. Don't go below 70 grams of protein. Tanya, if I ate Krispy Kreme donut, I think I would have to have B vitamins intravenously injected with a steak. Okay. Tristan, tell me if I'll get faster into cardio if I hit cardio regimen daily. I guess you're asking if you'll get faster into ketosis if you do cardio daily. Yeah, well, I guess like technically you might not feel as good. I don't suggest doing like super intense, high intensity exercise during the transition. I suggest kind of backing off, going into a more contemplative mode, more rest and recovery. And then after a week or so, when you're feeling better, then you start implementing these things. Will more cardio get you more results? Hey, it's all context dependent. Sometimes more cardio makes you more stressed out, which makes it harder to get results. What should blood glucose levels be? Under 80? Oh, I know where this comes from. All right, blood glucose levels. They need to be under 80 at all times. No. No. Yeah, you want your blood glucose within a healthy range. You don't want pre-diabetic, diabetic level numbers, but you don't have to be under 80 all the time. Find me one study, one scientific study that tells you that your blood glucose must be under 80 to be in ketosis. There are people that do ketogenic diets long term. Their blood glucose goes slightly up, but their hemoglobin A1C levels are down. No, your blood glucose doesn't need to be below 80 at all times. It's absurd. All right. How has a ketogenic diet been for your wife while she's breastfeeding? Does she need more carbs? Does she still fast? That's a great question. All right. So my wife, she was never into fasting. She never fasted. She used to, maybe she do some intermittent fasting sometimes just for convenience, right? Because when you're doing keto, your hunger's low. She's been doing full keto for breastfeeding. She doesn't eat more carbs. Sometimes she has a little bit of honey and tea. Every once in a while she'll have some more carbohydrate-based foods. But as far as I've seen for the last 6 months of breastfeeding and during the pregnancy, she's been in ketosis most of the time. She's been eating keto foods. So completely compatible, high-fat diet. You want to give your kids lots of DHA. You want to eat as much fish as you can. Get that good DHA in there. Get the EPA in there. They need the omega-3 fatty acids for their brain. Of course, I'm not giving advice, medical advice. Not a doctor. You can only listen to doctors or people that the FDA and your government tells you are telling you the truth. Only truth comes through government. So there you go. My disclaimer. All right. Thanks for the question. Live, love, life. I love that name. Great name, by the way. So yeah, keto for breastfeeding, there's no contraindication. And when you're breastfeeding, you got to get those fats in. I mean, healthy fats are very important for kids. You need all the micronutrients as well. And but yeah, I mean, you don't require sugar for breastfeeding. Okay, here we go. Hi, I'm trying the keto diet and I'm exhausted even after 2 weeks and I've not lost anything. What am I doing wrong? I don't know what you're doing wrong. I don't know what you're doing. I'm doing a keto diet. I got my macros from an app. Or I bought some dude's ebook and it told me to eat 5 days low carb and 1 day whatever I want. Or I'm doing this. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you're doing wrong. I'm sorry. If you're interested in, if you want me to look at what you're doing, if you really want me to look into the program that you're doing, what you've decided to do, and help you refine it and dial it in for you, you can contact me for coaching, but I don't know what you're doing. Could be electrolytes. Could be you're eating way too much fat. Could be that you're starving yourself. Your body's just all stressed out. Your circadian rhythm's all whack-a-doodle. Who knows? I don't know. Are there any tips you can give me staying keto with a limited choice of food, say in boot camp and on a ship? Absolutely. Limited choice of food. Going to the military. All right. Sardines are your friend. Sardines in a can. Salmon in a can. Beef jerky without sugar. Those are great foods that you can always bring with you. Just buy a bunch of boxes of whatever brand of sardines you're into. I really like these Matiz ones. They're kind of expensive. They're from Spain. Wild Planet makes an affordable one. Season makes another really good brand of sardines, canned in olive oil. Have those around. Get your protein in, some fats for energy. You know, you can bring coconut oil with you in bulk. Bring a gallon of coconut oil on the ship with you and bring a bunch of sardines. When you go to the mess hall or whatever you call it, go for protein sources, and then if you need more fats, use the fats. Eat a bunch of vegetables. That's the best I can come up with. Just spitting out a quick answer there. All right. Started keto 2 weeks ago, and I'm down 9 pounds. What kind of exercise works best while on keto for losing body fat? Cardio, strength training, both? Good question, and it's context dependent. Across the board, as far as like fat loss, body recomposition goes, strength training does seem to have a better effect than chronic cardio. But cardio helps you recover. You need good cardio, and they're both beneficial. They both have their place. So you do want to build lean muscle because that'll increase your metabolism. You do want to maintain lean muscle because that will keep you strong as you age. So they both have their place. Hey, brother. Been a personal trainer over 15 years, but always learning. Decided after a lot of research to try keto, found your channel, and love your message and all you do. Peace, brother. Richard, thank you so much, my friend. I really appreciate you taking the time to throw that nice energy towards me and throwing it right back at you, buddy. Keep doing what you're doing, man. Keep it positive. Me and my hubby live a very simple life, and we love it. We could live in a damn camper and be happy. Love you guys. Yeah, see, that's kind of how we are. Like, we don't have this like massive, crazy house. But a simple little, we got one bedroom. We all sleep in the same bedroom. We got beds of galore in there, but we sleep in one bedroom. We could afford a bigger house to live in. We rent. We don't buy our house. We don't own our house. We're not rich. We don't seek that. We want life. We want reality. We want love. We want the truth. So that's us, you know? It's like right now we're fixing up this truck so we can take some road trips, you know? Make it nice, family friendly, tough and durable, so we can go all around South America and check out the life around us. So yeah, that's what we're into. We're simpletons, simple people. Hello from Raleigh, North Carolina. I love how you always refer to real food. Fantastic. I guess I can safely say you're not a fan of Prove It, or does it have any harmful side effects? It doesn't have any harmful side effects. And you know, if some people like it, they like it. I'm not a fan of it. I just like, maybe it's just because I get annoyed with the people who market it, and they're always trying to like they comment on my videos all the time. Check out my thing. Check this out. All right, 1 minute. I gotta take this call. Let me mute this. Oh, never mind. Hey, what's up, Bob?
Hey, it's Heather.
Hey.
Bob's Diary. Could you have a thought? Can you do us a favor?
Yeah. Well, maybe.
Can you head down to our place like now or shortly?
Yeah.
We're on our way back from the farm, but they get out at 1 and we're not quite gonna make it.
Yes, I'll be there in 10 minutes.
Awesome.
All right.
Okay.
No problem.
Thanks.
I'll wait for you there, right? Like I'll bring Ariana.
Wait first with the kids?
Yeah, I'll bring Ariana down and we'll wait there. Maybe Jessica want to come too. I'll see.
Great.
See,
And we have the key, but they can get in through the window and open it up from the inside.
that's cool. I'll pick up that Mastiff from town. He'll knock down the door for me.
So,
I'll pick up the Mastiff from town. He'll knock down the door for me.
awesome. Oh, perfect. Jonah like that.
Okay. All right. Bye-bye.
Okay, we'll see you soon. Thank you so much.
All right. It's coming to an end, guys. This has been a really fun one. We got a bunch of people watching. There's such an eclectic crew of people that come and enjoy these hangouts, but I got to help some friends out right now. And thank you so much for all the kind comments. I see loads more that I didn't even get to. Andrea Turner, Jessica Johnson, Keith Williams. There's so many great questions in here. I really appreciate you guys coming on. So if you want to support the channel, if you like this content, check out the website and check out the Ketogenic Edge Cookbook. If I mentioned it several times in the Hangout, I mentioned it in every Hangout. I am so stoked on the job that Jessica did on this cookbook. It's just been incredible. You know, the response has been fantastic. People have emailed us almost daily. We get emails of people just thanking us for the book, and thanks, thanks for enjoying it. If you want to support the channel, buy the book. It's available exclusively at primaledgehealth.com. It's available in ebook format. And that's what keeps this afloat. So we love giving out this information for free and helping you guys dial in what you're doing. And we love and feel blessed for being able to do this. We love being able to help you guys and interact with you. And thank you so much. So enjoy the Ketogenic Edge cookbooks found exclusively at primaledgehealth.com. It's a training manual for low-carb, ketogenic, and paleo cuisine. Check it out, primaledgehealth.com. Join us on the next Hangout. If you want to be notified beforehand, we send out an email notification most of the time. Sometimes we know, sometimes it's spontaneous. But we usually try and send you out an email notification. If you sign up for the newsletter in the top bar of our website, you can get notified when we're going to do these live Hangouts, and you can ask your questions next time. The sidebar, my wife has corrected me. Sidebar website, sign up for the newsletter, and you'll get notifications when we're going to do these. So share it, subscribe, like, do all those things. But check out the Ketogenic Edge cookbook as well. That's what really keeps us afloat. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for all the great questions and comments. primaledgehealth.com. Keep living.